Hello and welcome back to the channel of nonsense. This is the all new for 2024 Skoda Kodiaq, which might sound about as interesting as a pair of pants. I've been living with the previous Kodiaq for a little while, and if you've got a family and you want an SUV, then trust me, it's a pair of pants that does that just right. It supports you in all the right ways. It's been practical, efficient, and just lovely to live with. So in this video, I'm going to take you for a full walk around of the new Kodiaq to see if it's any good or if it's going to let you kind of droop everywhere. Let's find out. So it's very unprofessional, this video. Now, the basics haven't really changed. This is still a 5 or a 7-seater largish family SUV, but the looks have changed. And I think it kind of looks a little bit more premium, which is what Skoda is always trying to do. They're trying to battle with Volkswagen and, dare I say it, maybe even Audi. But you've still got the split level headlights. They're LEDs on all models, and some higher spec models get this kind of illuminated strip across the middle of the grille. And I have to say, this looks a lot better in person than it does in pictures. And that grille is actually quite imposing. I think if you hid that and went back a couple of years, this could be a BMW grille from before the design team at BMW all took loads of drugs and made their grilles absolutely massive. But I think it's quite smart. Now, in terms of size, the new Kodiaq is actually a bit bigger than the old one. When I walked in this studio about half an hour ago, I thought, that's way bigger than the old Kodiaq. It's a much more imposing shape. It's actually only about 6 centimeters longer than the old one, but it is a bit taller as well. And this one's on 20-inch wheels. And again, I think it just looks a bit more interesting than the old one. You've got this kind of matte, different color side bit here on the C-pillar. It's just quite a nice car, but the real difference, in terms of styling at least, is round the back. So let's go and look at that before you fall asleep. Yeah, Skoda's bang on trend. They put a light bar across the back of the new Kodiaq. I have to say, the new kind of C-shape rear lights, they're really, really sharp. They look really nice. And of course, you've got Skoda written out in their slightly new, updated font. But I just think, again, it looks more premium than before. Now, boot space, because it's a bigger car physically, is up. It's 910 litres on the 5-seat models. It's about 865 on the 7-seat models. This one's a 5-seater, and that is vast. That is almost Skoda superb levels of vastness. And it's clever as well. You've got levers to flip the rear seats down, 12-volt socket there, and you've got a false floor with more space underneath it. So it continues to find the Skoda Kodiaq tradition of looking great for family holidays or carrying corpses and things like that. Right, I've just jumped behind the camera to show you the big change for the new Kodiaq. It is the cabin, and the design of this is just far more interesting and premium than in the previous generation, the one I've been living with. Admittedly, in this car, it's very much in a kind of German press car spec with brown leather, but it's still very nice. You've got lots of ambient lighting, which changes colour when you open the doors and when there are cyclists coming that you're going to knock off and things like that. It's dominated by the large 13-inch infotainment screen, as we've seen in the Enyaq, with a new software upgrade. And yeah, you've got your wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on there, and you've got a digital dashboard as standard too. But for me, the big news are these 3 knobs here. Look, you can use it to adjust the temperature, or you can hold it to sync the temperature and things like that. And this one you can press in, and then it's your volume knob for the radio, or you can change your driving mode and things like that. So I think it's kind of an admission from Volkswagen Group that we don't like using touchscreens to adjust the temperature. And apparently these are actually only going to appear on Skodas. So I don't know if I believe that, but apparently Skoda developed them, so they're only going on Skodas. You've got 2 USB-Cs under there, and you've got a little thing there for storing your stuff, charging mats, cup holders, which slide to make 4, which is quite neat. You've got coin holders there. The key, at least on this pre-production car, is your regular Skoda key. And I did used to press these in my pocket by accident quite a lot. And under here, you've got a big, quite deep, felt-lined storage well. And yes, the door bins are lined with felt as well. But yeah, it looks like a really nice cabin. Certainly very comfortable. And I like the panoramic sunroof, which does open at the front as well. But anyway, let me show you rear seat space, because that's quite important in Kodiaq land. Actually, just before I show you the back seats, I have to mention Skoda's new vent controls. They are, I don't know, quite satisfying to use, the vent nipples. Oh, and of course, Skoda has moved the gear shifter to the column, so it frees up a bit of space down there. And there are no manual options. One of the reasons I really love the previous generation Kodiaq is how much rear seat space you've got. I've got 2 young kids and it's really nice having their seats back here so they can't kick my seat the entire time, driving me to tears. But this has got as much room, if not more, but the rear seats are more reclined, I think. It feels a bit more limousine-like in here. It's very, very comfortable. You've got these seat back pockets here, you've got a couple there. This one's got heated rear seats. You haven't got felt-lined door bins back here, which is a bit of a shame, but I have got privacy blinds, very nice. And you've got lots of recycled materials through the cabin as well. So some interesting textures, design details. And apparently the brown of this leather comes from coffee beans. Doesn't smell like it, which is probably a good thing. Now, in terms of engine choices for the new Kodiaq, you've got 2 petrols and 2 diesels. The petrol is a 1.5 litre mild hybrid, and then there's a more powerful 2 litre of 204 horsepower. And on the diesel side, you've got the usual 150 horsepower, and I think 193 horsepower. Let me just check my phone because I've forgotten. Yes, 193 horsepower. The most powerful versions of those engines have 4-wheel drive systems, but the big news for this is there's now a plug-in hybrid Kodiaq, and it's not just any plug-in hybrid. It's got Volkswagen Group's latest battery tech. It's got a 25.7 kilowatt hour battery, I think. It's good for an electric only range for about 60 miles, but it can also fast charge at up to 50 kilowatts on a DC fast charger, which is just quite unusual for a PHEV, so you can go quite far on it and charge it quite quickly. But the downside is you can't have 7 seats and the plug-in option. So there you have it, a very quick walk around of the new for 2024 Skoda Kodiaq. My first impressions are it does look and feel more premium, more spacious inside, and that plug-in hybrid option I think is going to be quite compelling for lots of people. Now, there's no official word on price yet. I expect it to start though from about £36,000, which is a couple of grand more than the current one. And rumours are there's going to be a VRS again. I presume it'll be petrol because the diesel thing is bad now, isn't it? You're not allowed to be a diesel. You kind of get shooed out the door in Volkswagen Group and shot around the back. But anyway, looks like a really nice, compelling 7-seat family SUV. Quite like it. Go down to the comments, tell me what you think this colour should be called. Like this video if it's been helpful, and subscribe to the channel because you've probably got some more videos of me standing in a well-lit room coming soon. Goodbye.